All right, we are back live. When I say live, I mean back in live with me, pre-recorded and all that, edited it all for the charming viewers. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and boys and men, ladies. I am your boy, Jay Brooklyn, the place to be. How you hear me? You feel me? Oh yeah. All right, so we're kicking off the heels off of Memorial Day. Um, and most importantly, the tragedies that's happened over the course of uh the half of the year, um, and part of last year. But first, I want to tell you all a story. This is story time, so gather around, grab your popcorn, your snacks, and your Skittles and all that, whatever you have. This is story time. Let me swig a little. So, once upon a time, there was a man who pretty much, I want to say in my lifetime, started this whole back and forth of left versus right. It all started in the year 2000 when a one George W. Bush, who took over the POTUS status seat. And within the year of 2001 came the conspiracy of two planes hitting two towers in New York City. A conspiracy at that. Was he behind it? Did he fund the terrorists to hit the planes? But that didn't stop the voters for chiming in '04 for Bush's reelection. And even the whole campaign with Diddy of the whole vote or die campaign. And even after all that, the people voted for George Bush again. Then towards the end of his tenure, people were so mad, so riled up, to the point where two shoes were thrown at George Bush at a podium. And then came 2008. 2008, where the people thought that there was going to be some great hope. You know what? Let me actually use my microphone. Pretend I'm wrestling. As the people thought that there was hope, they looked towards the black man as a symbol of hope. He was, in fact, the great black hope. So he came onto the screen. He possessed some charm to him. And the audience fell in love. By the name of Barack Obama. And Barack smooth talked his way into the presidency. Then came re-election time. And VP Joe Biden pretty much scared you all, damn near fear-mongering you. They're going to put you back in the chains, aka the Republicans. So even though people wasn't pleased with Obama, they did what they did back in 2004. They re-elected Obama. Kept him in for one more term. Then came the great year of 2016. It was a battle between Godzilla and a charlatan. And apparently, even till this day, there is great debate and great controversy on the 2016 election, where Donald J. Trump destroyed Hillary Rodham Clinton in the election. But see, in 2015, the people started to change. They, in fact, missed the great black hope because they realized that Donald J. Trump was actually serious about his run. And when Donald J. Trump finally got in office, it was nothing more but 4 years. 4 years of pandering, 4 long years of bitching, moaning, complaining, blaming. And I would even damn near say separating. Thank you for that. Where they tried to take down the great Godzilla with 2 impeachments. But those 2 impeachments is not what got rid of Donald J. Trump. No. Because you see, in the year of 2020, 2020 was the year of the pander. No, not the panda. The pander. The pandering to the black and brown communities. Using people for sound bites and clout. Using the, as Jericho Green has said previously, give him props for this one, the patron saint of fentanyl. As Jesse Lee Peterson has said, the unemployed drug addict. George Floyd, who the world saw his neck was held down by, as many leftists would call this man, a disciple of evil. Derek Chauvin, former officer Derek Chauvin, put his knee on George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and plus seconds. And they used George Floyd Breonna Taylor, a virus that could have been prevented if the world wasn't such against Trump, if they allowed him to do what he had to do, but they deemed it to be racist, and they allowed people to come here and spread COVID into America, and we are still here 2 years in the making of a left nut conspiracy fallback. Yes, it was 2020. The old-fashioned David versus the Goliath. And America voted with their heart and not their brain. They used the emotion and the clout and the despair to put in a man who is not fit to run this country. And ever since he was elected, things have been going downhill, rising up. Basically, we have entered the upside down, and everything makes no sense. People who are immune to the bullshit and the confuckery, the confusion and the fuckery, confuckery of what's going on in this world, are seeing the world for what it is, as an insane assignment, insane asylum. And the story does not end, because yet we are still in this never-ending battle to fight what's right and what's wrong. And what's wrong is the politicians who is using individuals for clout and votes till this day. To be continued. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean about politicians using clout? People for clout. Well, as I said before, George Floyd. For those of you who've been living under a rock, or who just failed to reason with logic, I actually want to see this. I actually want to Google this. I actually want to Google this, because I'm pretty sure someone asked before, how many funerals? Yes, somebody did. How many funerals did George Floyd have? Okay. Go to the first article. USA Today. George Floyd memorial services. Funeral to be held in Minnesota, North Carolina, and Texas. This man traveling more than P. Diddy. Multiple services will be held in coming days to honor George. Now this is back in this is dated back June 2nd of 2020, 11:26 a.m. by Nadia Nancy Bragg. Probably hyphenating her name because she's married. I noticed a lot of women hyphenating their name. Even I did that to my sister. I put her full name, her her first, middle, her surname, and her married name in my phone. But she just identifies herself as the first and her married name, which is amazing. Yeah, so this was back in June of 2020. Multiple services will be held in coming days. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. I not pressing that button. Uh, will be held in honor for George Floyd's life after a week of protests across the country. The 46-year-old man, 46-year-old black man, died May 25th after a white. See, how the news portrays this as my point exactly. After a white Minneapolis police officer pressed his knee into. Wait, hold on. What is it? Okay, wait. It says in his pressed his knee into Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes while Floyd was handcuffed and saying he didn't breathe. He couldn't breathe. Then Floyd's death sparked protests and violence in Minneapolis, and around the country. Then he will be having funeral services in Minnesota, North Carolina, and Texas. Yeah, Crump and Al Sharpton chiming in with their nonsense. ABC News. This was back in 2020 again. The second. 3:24 p.m. for this one. Yeah, 3 cities. Okay, so he had three services. In 3 different states. Now, I also remember that George Floyd had a golden coffin. In fact, there was some mayor or governor that actually spoke on his white mayor or whatever. Okay, here's a thing from Houston. This is June 9th of 12:18 p.m. This is from the Post Gazette. From Houston. Yes, this is the Houston, Texas paper, I guess. George Floyd was fondly remembered Tuesday as Big Floyd, a father, brother, athlete, and neighborhood mentor, and now a catalyst for change. At a funeral for the black man whose death has sparked a global reckoning over police brutality and racial prejudice. Oh, here we go. Here's this. More than 500 mourners wearing masks against the coronavirus packed a Houston church a little more 2 weeks after Floyd was pinned to the pavement. Blah, 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 blah. Saying I can't breathe. Blah, 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 blah. The three, the 3 funerals have drawn the families of other black victims whose names have been familiar in the debate over race and justice, like Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Ahmaud Arbery, and Trayvon Martin. Yeah, after the funeral, Floyd's golden cassock was taken by hearse to the cemetery in the Houston suburb of Pearland to be entombed next to his mother, for whom he cried out as he lay dying. A mile from the graveyard, the cassock was transferred to a glass-sided carriage drawn by a pair of white horses. A brass band played by his cassock has taken into the mausoleum. Blah, 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 blah. Who said this? Oh, I don't want to see any black man, any man, but most definitely not a black man sitting on the ground in the hands of bad police, said Marcus Brooks, 47, who set up a tent with other graduates of the high school, Floyd's Alabama. Okay, see, okay, I'm saying this to give you guys a background of what the media has done to this man, George Floyd. They just use him as a martyr, as you said before, a catalyst. Okay, this Marcus Brooks, he said that he does not want to see a black man or any man, but most likely a black man being held down by a bad police. So I wonder how someone like Marcus and the left would think about Tony Timpa. Because Tony Timpa was actually the first George Floyd. The problem was nobody knows Tony Timpa besides those outside of it was also in Texas too, right? Let me see. Let me pull up Tony Timpa's uh story. Tony Timpa. Killing of Tony Timpa. Yeah, yeah, this happened in Dallas, Texas, in August 10th of 2016, almost 5 years ago. So, five, yeah, about five and a half years ago. So, Tony Timpa, for those who don't know, or who don't care, but you will know if you listen to me still, 32-year-old white American in a trucking company. He called 911 for aid, telling the dispatcher that he had schizophrenia, depression, and not taking his meds. So when the cops came to the scene, Timpa was already handcuffed by a security guard. They restrained him on the ground while he squirmed, repeatedly crying out, "You're gonna kill me." Then he fell unconscious. The officer assumed he was asleep, and rather than confirming that he was breathing or feel for a pulse, joked about waking him up for school and making breakfast. They kept him prone on the grass for nearly 14 minutes and zip-tied his legs together, one pressing his knee in Timpa's back. One of the paramedics called to the scene, administered the sedative. First said the respondents began to panic only as they loaded Timpa's body onto a gurney. One exclaiming that he didn't just die down there, did he? Timpa died within 20 minutes of police officers' arrival of cocaine and the stress associated with physical restraint, according to his autopsy. Now, hold on, this the sound in the background. Hang on. No, it's good. No, forget it. See, this was even bad too, but no one cares about that because of the fact that Tony Timpa is a white guy. That was it. He's a white guy. If he had been black, they would have been saying his name too. If it was Anthony Thomas, say his name, Anthony Thomas. Yeah, but because Tony is white, no one cares. So nobody cares about George Floyd. See, I said it before. They only care about you, and I'm talking about the left. I'm talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm talking about all the people that are screaming for these black people's names that are killed because the fact that they're black. They don't care about them at all. They don't, and especially what happened recently with these shooters. I was talking to a friend of mine. Not call him a friend on my other channel. my gaming channel, the Ripple Experience, DM, and he asked me, "Do you think that, well, basically in a nutshell, with this whole new monkeypox virus going on, do you think that the government will, you know, put things in place again like they did with COVID?" And I said, "Yeah, because the government doesn't care about us. They just care about control. They want us to treat them as as our new gods." See, because see, the Democrats are not Christians. They're not, because they're pushing abortion. They're pushing homosexuality, especially on children. No, I'm sorry. Fuck that. That's not Christian like. Okay? They want to be the new God. They took God out of the churches, out of the schools, and they're trying to be the new God. They want the people to be so dumb that they want to look to us. And now they want to push this because of this prior shootings in Buffalo and Texas. They're using this as another excuse. The school shooting to stop. There's too much guns on the street. First of all, gun violence is not a problem well, it is a problem in America, but it's not the number one. All across the world, we are number 60. In fact, there's this article that I got from a YouTuber who found this file. I'm gonna pull it up. But basically, he found this article from somebody that made a study. Mail. I got mail. I don't know if you heard that or not. I sent it to my email that back in 2009 to 2015, there was what I said. There was a study. On the gun violence all across the world. What did I save it on? It had to be a name. I sent it on there. And we are in the 60th bracket. The hell I put that in there? Oh, that's a Chicago shooter. Should I see? No, I definitely sent it to my email. All this spam mail. See, I need um a producer or something because I do not know what this thing at. I was not ready with this at all. Uh, but 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 but, uh, but basically, just keep rambling on. We are not even the top one of of shooters, and in fact, I also saw another YouTuber that has defended the AR-15. See, people are attacking the AR-15 because they think it means assault rifle. In AR-15, the AR actually stands for Armalite. 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 That does not mean assault rifle. Okay? An Armalite 15 compared to an assault rifle, which is an AK-47, shoots differently. Even says it. Although Colt, the uh the company Colt, owns the AR-15 trademark, the AR in AR-15 stands for Armalite rifle, not assault rifle. Those are two different things. Basically, with an AR-15, when you pull the trigger, only one bullet comes out. With an assault rifle, multiple bullets come out. Okay, but the only reason why AR-15s are mostly in shootings because the AR-15s is more popular and common. But here's the deal, though: there were more handgun shootings every day, not just in schools, but every day. And yet the government wants to tell you, oh, there's too much gun violence out here. What about the shootings every day? If they really cared about the gun violence in America, they would address the killings that happens every day in the communities. Which, and see, they don't want to talk about that because of the mere fact that they're going to talk about black on black crime. Exactly, black on black crime. Now, okay, let me go to this is okay. I found an article: World Population Review.com. Countries with the highest total gun deaths, all caused in 2019. Number one is Brazil, 49,000. America is second with 37,000. But see it says highest total gun death. It doesn't say what kind. It just says, okay, let me just see. Nearly 9 out of 10 people are killed by gun violence in 2019 were men. The highest number of homicide deaths across occurred among people 20 to 24 years old. Let me get to the okay. Brazil recorded the world's highest number of total gun deaths from all causes combined with 40. So it doesn't only mean of killing. It could mean, suicide or whatever. But all it says is total gun deaths. Is number one is Brazil. Number two is America. Now, let's go with this. Countries with the highest rates of violent gun death. Now, this is homicides. Homicides alone per 100,000 residents in 2019. Number one, El Salvador, 36,000. I'm sorry, what did that say? Highest rates. Okay, not thousand. 36.78. Number two, Venezuela, 33.27. Number three, Guatemala, 29.06. 4, Colombia, 26.36. Brazil, 21.93. The Bahamas, really, 21.52. Honduras, 20.15. The U.S. Virgin Islands, 19.40. Puerto Rico, 18.14. And Mexico, 16.41. So, I said it backwards, but in number 10 was Mexico. Number one, El Salvador. Nowhere in that top 10 is America for homicides. This is back in 2019. Okay, now gun violence in Latin America is exceptionally high, due in no small part to the prevalence of criminal gangs and a vibrant drug trafficking industry. Okay, now countries with the highest rates of firearm related suicide. This is suicide. only per 100,000 in 2019. Number 10, Venezuela, 2.50. France, 2.64. Number 8, Monaco, with 2.64. Number 7, Finland, 2.66. 6, Argentina, 2.67. 5, Montenegro, okay, 3.40. Number 4, San Marino, 4.08. Uruguay, 4.74. Number 2, United States, 7.12. And number 1 is Greenland with 16.36. Okay? Trying to see something. Now, if I could read this correctly. Gun deaths by country 2022. I'm only gonna give you the top 5. Firearm related death rate per 100,000 population per year. Okay. Trying to see. All right. Yeah, this is in order. All right, forget it. No, in top 10. Number 10, America, 12.21. Number 9, Panama, 15.11. Colombia, 18.65. Brazil, 21.9. Jamaica, 30.72. Guatemala, 34.1. What the hell is the African name? Eswatini with 37.16. El Salvador, 45.6. Venezuela, 49.22. And number 1, Honduras at 60. And even with the homicide, America is 4.46, with Honduras being 66.64. Now with suicide, looks like we're the top, because with suicide, we're at 7.32. Everybody else is down. So we do more suicide. Oh no, I'm sorry. Even in suicide, yeah, even suicide, it was number 2 with a Greenland number 1. So all across the world, we're not even top 1. Maybe top 5, top 10. But there was this article that I saw. I can't find it right now. But there's an article I found that we are. Well, see, that report was made from 09 to 29, from 2015. So this is like a bit updated, and even then, we're not number 1. Number 1. There was that interview with 2 reporters going after Ted Cruz and saying how, oh, America's number 1 for gun violence, and Ted Cruz cannot answer that question, and that's a lie. Cause see, there is a saying: a lie unchallenged will eventually become the truth. And if we keep putting this out there as America is number 1 in mass shootings and gun violence, apparently these people either A, have not stepped outside their house, or B, just lying to you. Okay? Because even I know for a mere fact, America is not number 1 in any gun violence at all. Even though every day there's some gun violence out there are other countries out there that are worse. Okay? And also, I am sick and tired of people who hate America want to say, "Oh, America's racist country and it's white supremacy that's attacking black people." First of all, that's such bullshit. Okay, because in my 38 years of living, I have not had one white person do me dirty. Okay, I have not had not one person call me the N word, disrespect me on my name, try to physically touch me, harass me, carrying me, you know, all the all this racist rhetoric that they're trying to say white people are evil. Never. In fact, I had a close friend, not really close, but I was a former employee. She was my former employer. Summer camp. It was the best summer of '05. I was a camp counselor. It was upstate, Allegheny State Park, and my dorm mate and my friend uh helped me be part of that situation because he goes to the camp and say, no, if you want to come to the camp, just sign up and do it. Okay, I do it. Let me tell you another story. So I was of course, the token black guy there. White people of different backgrounds, they welcome me with open arms. You know what I'm saying? And of course, although people that hate white people might say, "Oh yeah, yeah," but I'm pretty sure, but behind your back they were calling all types of n words. But listen, I'd rather you tell me to my face what you think about me than pan it to me and say, "Oh, you're a good guy." Yeah, nah. I mean, listen, if they didn't like me, it wasn't because of my skin color. It was because of who I was personally deep down. I never felt that way of, oh, cause I'm black they don't like me. If you think like that, then you're a fool. Okay, but I was with the camp counselor gig, had a fantastic summer with the kids, and even after the session of '05, we would talk over the years here and there. I'll call her on her birthday. She'll call me on my birthday. I will call her on holidays, whatever. And her birthday just passed, but she passed away last year, and I didn't know until like months later because I knew when I was calling her, she wouldn't answer the phone. I mean, I knew that she was tired and a busy woman for a woman of her age and her 80s, but she was very like if you see her and hear her, she acted as though she was in in her 40s. She was very um lively, bubbly, loving. She was in the gardening and just having a good old time. But she died last year of I think it was a stroke. Um, but and never a bad bone. With the point where on my vacation, what was 2017? Damn, it was 5 years ago. 2017. Yeah, I went to visit her for like 5 days, and I was in her town. I was in the neighborhood. We were driving around here and there. Went to dinner sometimes. Went out, and never a bad experience. Never. There was nobody looking at me tomorrow. Oh, who's that black guy? And I was like, oh, yo, how you doing, sir? Good morning. All love, all love. Now, I'm not saying there's no race people out there. There probably are, but just because the person is white doesn't mean that they're racist. Okay, and same thing vice versa. Just because the person is black doesn't mean that they're ghetto and ignorant. But if you portray that ignorance back, it's just like, well, you want me to believe something different, but you're acting like this. The point is, this whole black versus white, left versus right nonsense is just bullshit. This is what the government wants. They want us divided. They want us hating each other, divided. And back to my story, my first story, they use the names of these martyrs: George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, racism and white supremacy, which does not exist. Okay, there's no white. If there was white supremacy, can someone explain to me and answer me this without filibustering and going on and oh, you're a tycoon? Answer me this: if there is white supremacy, then how did Obama become president not once but twice? I can I can I, I can understand being elected the first time, but a re-election. And you know it's funny too because even during the re-election, the majority of the people that I talked to did not like Obama. But I think that's why Biden was like, "Well, they're gonna put you back in chains." Let me get that quote back up there before I end this stream real quick. What was Biden's full quote? Back in chains. Okay, yeah. Unchained. Gonna put y'all back in chains. I don't know if you heard that in the background, but if you didn't, because I'm just uh figuring this out here. Um, it was Biden on the campaign talking about the banks being unchained, and then Biden says, "Okay, so no, that's not it. No, that's not it. Either. What the? What's the quote at? Uh, okay, is it? We've got a real clear picture of what we all value," Biden said. "Every Republicans voted for it. Look at what the value and look at their budget and what they're proposing. Romney wants to let he said in the first 100 days, he's going to let the big banks once again write their own rules. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you back in chains." And people got scared over that. That's the fearmonger. Now, 2022 is the midterm seasons, and once again, it's the year of the panda going on now. They're starting. You've already heard of Beto O'Rourke trying to use his status to try to get the seat of governor, to put his name on there, and just using his fame, just a real trashy attack at some conference or whatever it was. He interrupted, and Biden going over to Texas and Buffalo to grieve with the family that lost their loved ones, but he was nowhere near Brooklyn or Wisconsin during those attacks. It's crazy. You're only useful if you're dead. You're nobody until you're dead. Okay, that's really what it boils down to, and it's sad that people don't see it, but they want to still have this hope that the left nuts cares for them, but they don't. So this is what it is. But you will have people like me and other YouTubers and other people on TV try to talk about things like this. But we're gonna be the ones who will be called racist and sellouts to our own kind. But don't be fooled by the rhetoric. Don't be fooled by buzzwords. If a story sounds juicy, nah. Plus, whenever they pop up, just look at their actions. Okay, you're here now because someone was killed in a school. But what about the other kids who were killed every single day? There was a little girl that was shot on a stray bullet by a guy on a scooter. Where are they at? Not there. They pick and choose who they want to back down. Like it always said, never let a crisis go to waste. And they are using the crisis of the Buffalo and Texas for their own gain. So this is the independent, objective, degenerate. Do what you want. Continue pouring your money into these people who do not care about you, who has not proven that their worth, that they care about you. Or you can wake up and go against them, which is what they don't want, for you to be free. It's up to you. But until then, if you like what you watch, please don't be shy to hit that like button, subscribe, share to all your friends. Comment down below. Let me know what how you feeling about this. If you want to challenge me, I welcome it. I like to be proven wrong, and I actually love a healthy debate. Just tell me what is that I got wrong, and I'll be happy to retort as a civilized person would do so. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. King Alpha Nerd Presents _TV. That's KAN P _TV on Twitter. And I'll see you guys same black channel, different black time. Godspeed, good night, be safe, and yeah, how's your boy? Blackout.